The pilot of the helicopter that crashed outside Leicester City's stadium, killing 5 people including its chairman, said, "I'd no idea what's going on," as it spun out of control. Eric Swaffer, 53, made the comment before the helicopter hit the ground outside the King Power Stadium on October 27, 2018. The final report into the crash has now been published. It concluded the pilot could do very little to save those on board. The crash claimed the lives of Leicester City chairman Vikhai Srivadhanaprabha, 2 members of his staff Nuzara Suknamayan Kaveporn Punpair, and pilots and partners Mr. Swaffer and Isabella Rosa Lechowitz. The Air Accidents Investigation Branch, AAIB's final report said a tail rotor bearing seized, which in turn caused the crash. The AAIB said the crash was inevitable after a sequence of mechanical failures. Chief Inspector of Air Accidents at the AAIB, Chris Benor, said Mr. Swaffer did what he could to control the Leonardo AW169 helicopter, but the catastrophic failure in a bearing in the tail rotor resulted in the aircraft making a sharp right turn. As the helicopter, which had reached an altitude of about 430 feet, 131 meters, was turning out of control, a shout of "Hey, hey, hey" came from the rear cabin, where Mr. Vikhai and his employees were seated, the AAIB said. In aircraft voice recordings, Mr. Swaffer was heard to say, "I've no idea what's going on," shortly before the helicopter crashed into a concrete step. Inspectors said 4 of the passengers survived the impact of the crash, but a fire that was caused by a significant fuel leak proved fatal. 4 first responders were treated for injuries caused by the heat of the fire after they attempted to rescue those inside the helicopter. The report added 2 police officers who arrived at the scene 1 minute after the crash tried to smash the helicopter's windscreen with their batons, but failed. Mr. Orr said, "This was a tragic accident in which 5 people sadly lost their lives. Our thoughts are with their loved ones, and everyone affected." It has taken almost 5 years to complete the 209-page final report, after what the AAIB previously called a technically very complex investigation. Authorities from Canada, France, Italy and the US were also involved in the investigation because of where various significant components were manufactured. The investigation discovered a worn bearing on the tail rotor had seized after the helicopter took off. The shaft that controlled the tail rotor then unscrewed and became detached as a result, which in turn caused the helicopter to spin out of the pilot's control. The AAIB report stated the helicopter complied with all applicable airworthiness requirements and had been maintained correctly before the crash.